What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something that is really important with fishing reels, and that is gear ratios. So today I'm going to be breaking down different gear ratios and showing you basically what gear ratio is best for what baits. So basically, if you don't know, a gear ratio is basically for every one turn of the handle, how many times the spool on the reel turns. So it basically chooses how much line you're bringing in per turn of the handle. So faster ones are going to bring in more line, and slower gear ratios are going to bring in less line per turn. So let's get started talking. I'm going to start by slowest gear ratio and work my way over to faster ones. I think that's going to make the most sense. So let's get started with the slower gear ratios. So the slowest one that I own here is the 5:6:1. It's a new reel that I've purchased. It is the Shimano Antares, and this is a slow reel. Like I said, the 5:6:1 gear ratio. That is super slow for bass fishing. I started off bass fishing basically using 7:1:1s and kind of worked my way getting different reels, but this is still the slowest one that I own. You basically don't need anything slower than this for bass fishing. The advantage of a slow gear ratio like this one is that you're going to be able to fish baits a lot slower, obviously. So baits like deep diving crankbaits, and any crankbaits for that matter, you're going to get your bait running as deep as it can for the most time. So if you're reeling a crankbait really fast, it's never going to reach down to its maximum depth, and even if it does, it's not going to stay there for long because you're going to be bringing it right back up to the boat. So with a slow reel like this, you're able to get your bait down super fast, get it to that maximum depth, as well as keep it down there for a long time. So crankbaits and stuff, when you're fishing deeper in the summer, different things like that, you want to make bottom contact. A slow gear ratio like the 5:6:1 here is a really nice thing to have. The next one basically is going to be a 6:1, somewhere in there. This is a 6:3:1, the Daiwa T3 Ballistic. One of my favorite reels. It's an older reel, but the advantage kind of a 6:3:1 is it's a good one as well for crankbaits and stuff, but it's still fast enough that you're able to catch up to that fish. If the fish starts running or something, you're able to still catch up to it and bring the line back to the fish. So it's nice for jerk baits, things like that, where you still want to go slow, but sometimes if they hit it, you got to catch up to them to get that hook set. A 6:3:1 is going to be a little bit faster and get you to get that hook set into the fish. I also like this one for fishing topwater spooks and stuff like that. I find it a really nice, easy way to keep yourself going slow enough to give the bait maximum action, but still have enough speed that if you need to catch up to the fish, you can. Now, the most common one out there is probably like a 7:1, 7:2, 7:3:1, depending on the brand that you're using. This one is a 7:1:1, and a 7:1:1 is basically what 90% of my reels are going to be. They're awesome for basically anything you need. You can slow them down if you want, fish really slow with them for crankbaits, stuff like that. You can also burn them faster if you want to burn spinnerbaits, anything like that. You want to fish frogs, you can always go fast to quick catch up to that fish, get a hook set, pull them out of weeds, whatever you need. So a 7:1:1 for plastics. If you wanted frogs, you could do crankbaits, spinnerbaits. Basically, the best all around is going to be like that 7:1 to 7:3 gear ratio, depending on the brand, and it really allows you to personally choose how you want to fish that reel to make the most out of it. If you needed like one reel, that would be the one to go with, because like I said, you can fish it slower, faster, all depending on how fast you want to turn the handle or how slow. Now here we have a faster one. This is a 7:9:1, basically an 8:1 gear ratio. Same difference. The thing that I like to use this one for is actually finesse fishing. So a lot of guys wouldn't use a reel this fast, but the reason that I like to use a fast reel for finesse fishing is that when you get those fish into, or you're fishing them around cover, well, let's say with a drop shot or something, you want to be able to pull them out before they can get into that cover. And a reel like this, the Revo LTX, only has like 8 pounds of drag in it, so it's a super light drag system. So you need to use the speed to your advantage to get that fish out of the cover before it's too late and you're stuck in there. So that is kind of one of the times that I like to use a faster reel for bass fishing. Then finally, the last reel that I have here, and the fastest one, is the 9:1 gear ratio here in the Revo Rocket. The other time that I like to use a super fast reel such as this one is for frog fishing, flipping. Again, basically to pull those fish out of the cover before you get stuck in it. This one does have a heavy drag system in it as well, so you don't have to worry as much about that. But when you're fishing frogs, stuff like that, you need to have a lot of contact with your bait. You want to have that sensitivity and everything, so you need to be able to feel it really quick and then get the hooks into those fish before it's too late and before they get into cover. So with flipping and stuff, a lot of those fish are going to bite the bait, and they're either gonna dake it and you feel it and set the hook, otherwise they're gonna let go before you even feel it. So it's nice to have a fast reel like this to get that sensitivity and everything. You can get down to it, get the slack out of your line, and then also set the hook really good. And then, like I said, for frog fishing, when those fish take it, you want to set the hook right away. It's always good to get it right before they get into all that cover, be able to pull them out like that. And that is the other time I like to use a super fast gear ratio. So that's basically the ins and outs of baits for gear ratios and kind of when I like to use what gear ratio for what bait. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that and learned a little bit. If you liked the video, hit the like button below and also subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.